Hey guys, it's time for another video, and this one's all about mining. Yeah, we're setting up mining for my game this week, and this is just the first part of it. Next week there'll be a little more. But to start with mining, I had to model out an ore deposit. I'm a big fan of the way that old school RuneScape did their models, so I kind of made it similar in nature, I guess, sort of, as I modeled it. I had that in mind at least as I put this together. But I just wanted kind of like a simple, an ore deposit rock with little specks of the mineral poking through. So you can see here, I'm just trying to add little spots to add a little bit of visual detail, so that you can, so I can use a different material on that later on, and kind of copy paste it to use different materials to make different ores. So it's fun kind of putting this together, like doing some quick things like that. I then put it in Unity. Tried to scale it based on my player size, so it kind of, isn't too huge of an ore deposit. And we kind of got that set up and looking about the right size. I'm not very good with materials, and these are definitely placeholder ones, but even so, I couldn't find a balance between flat and shiny for the rock part of it. But I just wanted a representation right now of a copper ore rock, basically. So after I set that up, though, I did want to get a hitbox on it, make sure my player can't move through it, and so that I can react to the pickaxe hitting it. At first, I wasn't 100% sure how I wanted to do the actual mining part. So I started with a hitbox, as you can see I'm setting up here, and then I added a second trigger, what I called like a trigger area. And so when you'd click the action button within that trigger area, it would play the animation to hit, and the rock would take damage, if you will. And once it runs out of HP, then it gives you the ore that it has. And so I was kind of going for like a Skyrim-esque, get near it and click the button, and then it kind of plays an animation to mine it. But ultimately, after I got this all set up, I decided to go with something else. And I'll show you that kind of a little more when I get into the coding side of this. And, basically, I just set it up with its own script, and gave it an HP, a float for HP value, so that'll be deducted by the damage that the pickaxe that's currently equipped is using, or does, excuse me. And then I really struggled with setting up an item for a second. I had to actually Google for a second to refresh my memory, which was pretty sad because I know how to do them. On the different types of ores that it's going to contain. So then I made a I based the HP based on the type of ore deposit that it is. Obviously, rare ores are going to be a little harder to mine, so you need a better pickaxe or spend a little more time mining them. And that took a bit. And then I also want them to refresh, so certain ores have different amounts of time before they respawn, if you will. And this game is going to be largely memory based, so I'm going to kind of tie some lore into seeing people's past memories, and that memories are kind of foggy, so they're not always the exact same as other people's recounts of what they saw. And so that's why there's different ores that kind of come in different in the same spots where you find the other ore deposits. So the reason I originally had this, like I said, in the code, you can kind of see it there, and I can post these separate later or something, but I had it so that it would check if there'd been any damage, and then it would check if there was check if there's action button pressed, then check if there's any damage done. If there hadn't been, it'd run a script to damage the rock, and then it would set that bool to true, and it wouldn't do damage continuously while you were making contact with it. I'm just going to tie that to the animation. Ultimately, though, I did change that, and I'm just going to go for a more hit-based. I'm going to try to balance this with, so the action button has to be pressed, so you can't just walk by it while you're holding a pickaxe and it does damage to it. But I want it to be able to, you have to play the animation, and then the animation will set the, that it's started. The action has started, and so it's viable to hit a rock if it makes contact with it. That way you can kind of free play around it. There's not like a cut scene of you mining. I think it makes a little more intuitive mining system where you kind of aim yourself. Now the big question is, did it work? And really, I don't know yet, because that's kind of where I got to this time. I'm going to be some adjustments. I do appreciate you watching, though, this short video. I didn't get as much done as I wanted to this week, but I'll have another video next week, and I'll hopefully get some more stuff done on mining. So thanks again for watching.